Some of you may recognize that. That's from the movie The End by Burt Reynolds and Number Weeks. Not to give you the whole length of the story, but all the way through he tried to kill himself. And finally he was dropped into the water. And that's when he starts saying, trying to make a deal with God. And you notice, as he got close to the shore, what happened? Went from 50% of the gross to 10%. And if we would have had it able to play on just a little bit longer, he gets up, he stands on it, he shakes himself like a boat, shakes the water off of him, says, I'll call you someday, God. And that's how it ends. The end. It's a pretty deep movie. It's comedy, but at the same time, it's got a serious effect, I believe. The difference between commitment and the contract. All too many times, we've tried to make, we as Christians have tried to make a deal with God. Well, God, I tell you what, if you take care of this thing, I promise. And it's like the character that Burt Reynolds was portraying, 50%. 50% of my gross. And the closer he got to feeling better, it got less. And that's what happens to us as all too many times as Christians. Instead of making a commitment to God, we want to make a deal. If you make me better, then this is what I'm going to do for you, God. God doesn't need your deal. He doesn't need your contract. A contract. Somebody tell me what a contract is. What's the difference? Contract. What is it? Pardon?
An agreement between people or a corporation.
An agreement. An agreement that's written down, spoken, or a handshake on. Years ago, we'd handshake. Right, Denny? And Dennis? I call him Denny, and I call you Dennis because he's younger and I respect your age.
I call you Bobby. I'm honored.
Somebody slapped us. We'll wait till the camera turns off. So anyhow, at one time we were able to make a handshake and a deal would be done. And it didn't matter how much it was. But these days, even a written contract can be discommunicated with a slick lawyer. So another thing that, and it makes me think that every time I hear it on the news, and there's nothing funny going on, but every time I hear it on the news, I think of Danny Light. The credit card companies don't want you to know that you don't have to pay. Just down VR 4955, whatever it is, they don't want you to know that you don't have to pay them. And I think about him every time when I hear that. And if you listen to WDAC much or talk radio, I listen to 910 every day just about when I'm traveling with Rush Limbaugh. And those are some of the commercials. You don't have to pay. You made a contract with those people. You have to pay. Sooner or later, you have to pay. And that's the way it is. It's a written thing between two people. When we look at 1 Peter 2:3. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's what? Tell me what your translation reads.
First Peter what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 1 Peter 2:9. 1 Peter, 2nd chapter, 2:9. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Hey, I'm getting old.
But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light.
You are a chosen people. You are a chosen people. Sierra's a chosen person. She's chosen. She didn't just happen. She chose to come here today. It didn't just happen. Yeah. I was sitting eating breakfast yesterday. Well, breakfast is 2 pieces of toast and coffee. And I heard this. And I look out the window and there's Hunter with a weed eater. He wasn't eating weeds, he was cutting them down around the house. Which I'm not supposed to do, but at the same time, if any one of my 3 weed eaters I have at the house were working, I'd have probably had it done a long time ago. Or had it in the basement, somebody try and do it. But we make a contract and we keep it. But you cannot make a contract with God. Contract with God. Now, I'm not going to ask for a show of hands. But I think you'll find that if you never have, it's been on your lips. And in your mind, well, God, if you'll do so-and-so, I'll do the rest. This is what I'm going to do for you. And like the character in the movie, I'll give you X amount of percent. I had a fellow tell me one time, he said, I can't live. And we were in a group of things called Amway. Some of your older ones know what Amway is. The young ones have no idea what Amway is. But in Amway, they have this levels. As you get certain levels, you have more income. And usually what happens with Amway and Betty Kay and with the green car, the pink car and all that kind of stuff is, that wasn't Betty Kay, what was it? Mary Kay. I knew it was one kind of Kay. But usually what happens is when you sign up with them to be one of their people to go out and sell, you go through your family first. And once you get through your family, you're dead. And that's what happens 99% of the time. Well, we were in Amway, and this fellow was in Amway with us. He said, I can't wait to make Diamond Direct. When we made Diamond Direct in those days, you got about $2,500 to $2,800 a month. And that's 50 years ago. That's a lot of money. $2,500 to $28 a month. And I can't wait to make Diamond Direct so I can drop $100 bills in the offering plate when they pass the plate around. And I said, well, listen, think about this. What do you put in now? If you make $100, what's 10% of $100? 10. Do you put 10? And I know, and I knew the person pretty well. And I said, and you make about $300 a week. So do you put $30 a week in the offering? Well, when I get to it, and he just avoided that whole thing. When I make Diamond Direct, he's making a deal with God. He's trying to make a deal. That's contract. When I make Diamond Direct, I'm going to drop $100 bills in the offering. Well, why did he drop $30 bill in the offering? Well, I didn't have a $30 bill. Why didn't he drop the 3 10s? Right? Why didn't he just put $1 in? Huh. Guess what? He never made Diamond Direct. And guess what else? He soon quit Amway because he went through all his family. Because that's usually where it dies unless you are some super duper salesman. One thing about it, when you sell that stuff, it runs out. And then people have to reorder. So that's pretty good. It's not like selling you something like I'll sell you this desktop or tablet, and then that's the end of it. Unless you don't break it, or unless you, I've been to this store, I've been to 3 different stores 4 times this week, to try and find the thing to plug in here, to be able to put it into my desktop, laptop, or the screen, and still don't have the right thing. But we go back to where we were. To think about it, we are a chosen people. So what do you think that means? We are a chosen people. Somebody tell me what we are. What's that mean? Hello, is anybody here?
Yeah.
We're special.
We're special?
God chose us. We're here for a reason.
We're here for a reason.
Verse 24. He personally carried our sins in his body on the cross so that we can be dead of to sin.
So we're here for a reason.
Amen.
He's already made the deal. Jesus already made the deal. Heavenly Father, I'll lay down my life. This is a deal I'm making with you, God. I lay down my life for you, kids and boys and girls and men and women. He's laid down his life for us. Laid down his life for us that we would not perish. Now, when you're as young as a couple of youngsters here in the group, when you're young, you're not even thinking about it. In fact, I was at somebody's house yesterday, and the woman there was 27. She'll be 27. Troy's going to be 28 July the 13th. You believe that? I mean, 58. And just think about that. She's going to be 57. He's going to be 58. And we were talking about when you expire. And she didn't want to talk about it. And I said to her, well, that's something you don't even think about. She said, I don't think about that at all. Well, when you get to my age, you think about it. Because you know that sooner or later it's going to, that's the last heartbeat. That's the way it's going to be.
Amen.
So don't you be crying for me, kids. Sooner or later it's the last heartbeat. You have a party. I've told my kids, I want you to have a party when I check out. Come on, work with me. Somebody.
I agree with John.
When I have a party,
Have a
I
party.
don't pass the bottle around unless it's iced tea or something. But have a party because another saint has gone home.
Amen.
Another saint. Now, I'm not saying I'm saintly, but yes, I am. The Bible tells us we are the saints of God. If we've accepted Him as our pure personal Savior.
And we're celebrating your life.
Yes.
It's a
Celebrating your life.
celebration. It's not a,
Yeah, so many people get that mixed up, and they believe that when you come together in the church, that's the funeral. That's not the funeral. It never was the funeral, and never will be the funeral. When you come together in the church or in the, whatever they call them over there,
funeral home.
that too. Nobody lives there. Why do they call it a home? You call it a funeral home. But nobody lives there. Unless they have an apartment upstairs. But anyhow, the funeral is at the gravesite. That's the funeral. In the funeral home or in the church house, when you gather together, that is a eulogy to share the life of the person who passed. Amen? I was at a eulogy and funeral some months ago. A close friend of mine related, I think his mother and cousins. So I don't know what that made her, but anyhow, Johnny Glick. And we were in a Mennonite church over near Smoketown. You ever been over that way? The Glick Nursery, big plant farm. That was part of his family. And I'm telling you, there was over 500 people in that church that never could have held him in a funeral home. I don't care how big it is, they never could have held him. They had a eulogy, and people getting up and talking. And I told them about the '59 Ford hardtop convertible that was one of Ford's bad dreams. But it was a hardtop convertible, and when you push the button, the thing opened up in the back, and where the trunk was, it opened up like that, and the top would go and fold up and go into the back. A hardtop convertible. And it lasted, I don't know, maybe 2 years, maybe 3. But anyhow, it was a bad dream of Ford's. And a lot of people bought it, but Johnny Glick bought one, and I remember his '59 Ford, beautiful, black and red. And I remember him cussing, "You blanky, blank." He is very detailed profanity words. Because it started to rain, and he tried to put it up, and he pushed the button, and it comes up, and there it was stuck. And that's what would happen from time to time. It'd come up and stick. And so I shared that, and other people shared the funny things and the neat things of Johnny's life. So when I check out, I want y'all to remember that. I want you, and that's a contract I want with you. I want to make a contract, right? No, I don't. I want you to make a commitment. That takes us to the word commitment. Commitment. A statement of quality being delivered by some type of force. All right? A commitment. You make a commitment. Right now for Christ Chapel. I was handed a note. We have $266 in our account. Is that just one count or all of them?
That's just for the missions to go.
In a mission
Yeah,
account.
that's just money that I have to send to Africa.
We got $266 for the African mission right now. And the first month, which is tomorrow, we usually send, well, it's usually between the 1st and the 6th. We need to send $668 is what we send for the mission, for the churches in Kenya. Now, thank you. There's only a few people here, and so don't be embarrassed. You share what you saw in Kenya.
Saw a lot of commitment. A lot of people dedicated, wanting to be there, excited to be there, and grateful for every single penny that we sent to them.
They didn't make a deal with God. They made a commitment. They committed. Pastor George made a commitment with God. He's been able to set up 2 satellite churches. We went to those satellite churches, and like I said last week, they were about the size of that back room there. Maybe a little bit bigger. I know the one wasn't that big. And it was crowded, and people were standing outside the door because they couldn't get in. Wasn't enough room. And they were there. That was a commitment. They come to a place where there's one of them, no electricity, no running water, there's no running water in either one of them. They come to a place to serve the Lord and to worship God. Commitment. A commitment is something that many of God's people today have no intention of fulfilling. I'm talking about church people these days. They have no intentions of fulfilling. There's no intention. However, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people out of this group that I baptized. John and I baptized. Brian and Hunter and Tanner using the rake to scrape the algae apart so we could take somebody into the water and then get swamped by algae. Algae. And at that time, those of you who did that, you made a commitment to God. You didn't make a contract. Well, now, God, if Pastor Bob makes me wet, I'm going to serve you. No, you didn't make a commitment like that. You made a commitment, and I ask each and every one of you, accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. If so, say, I did. It's a commitment. Make a commitment. It is, and these days, it's just like almost no commitment to church members. They like going to the very, very large churches because they just slip in the back door. And then slip out the side door.
They're out on their grass.
Oh, yeah, they have to get back and mow the grass. And so, I'm sorry that you guys had to struggle to get a seat today. But I'm so excited that you found one. I do get a big concern from time to time that this thing don't go like this, flip-flop. And that's the way a lot of people are who are church members. They flip-flop with God. Instead of the commitment, they are trying to make a deal. Remember the movie? Not the movie, the sitcom that's on, is it on every day? Let's Make a Deal?
Yeah.
And that's some of the interesting characters who come down, but they get dressed in funny costumes to make a deal. And that's kind of like church. People get dressed in funny dresses, or they dress up just, well, not this group, but I've been in the churches, and I put this down, it's been bothering me now. But too many Christians, too many church members flip-flop. You remember the sheriff? I probably shouldn't say this, but why not? The Bible talks about it. That's a little whorehouse in Texas. And the sheriff depended on the way he turned his hat. And he's with this group. Then he turned his hat. And he's with this group. There's so many times that church members are the same. They're doing a flip-flop with God. Well, this week, everything's going all right. I'm not jumping. I talked to a young lady yesterday, and I said to her, and she talked about how she got hurt when she went through a divorce. Her man ran off with another woman, and it ended up in a divorce. And the church that she was part of, they treated her really bad. They treated her really bad. In fact, a lifelong member, a friend of hers, told her that, there are churches that accept divorced people, so you can go worship in other places. Or she couldn't worship there. And so, then she said, I tried going to church for a while, going by myself and taking my 2 little boys. Now both of them are 6'2", 6'3". I took my 2 little boys to church. And after a while, the group of women that I was sitting with, and we'd go out and to parties or gatherings, they dwindled off one by one, and then I didn't know what to do. I said, well, where are you going now? She said, well, nowhere. I said, why? Why aren't you going somewhere? Well, she married a man who doesn't believe in God and says, if you could be going to church, don't you be putting money down for getting to church. You keep that for us. Now, what do you think her chances are? Somebody tell me. What are her chances are getting back to church? Far and few between. Because she don't want to upset her husband. But that's why I tell. See, and Elizabeth don't think she's going to get married. I don't know about Olivia. And I don't know about Sierra. But I'm telling you. You get hooked up with somebody that's not a believer. You get hooked up with like that gal. She got married to this guy. You don't want to do church. He said, if you do go to church, don't you dare put money down for you. Keep the money for us, the house. Give it to me. I can use it. And he can use it. Just recently, he bought an 80-inch flat screen TV for himself. In his room. That's big. 80-inch flat screen TV. Keep it for me. And so, I told her, I said, well, you know better. You were raised around church. You were in church up until the divorce. Worked in the youth group. And then, because she got some sour lemons, she decided not to stay there and make lemon juice out of it. Think about that. We are living in a world today, and I wrote this down just this morning. There was a time when the president was honored. There was a time when police were respected. And there was a time when newborns were a treasure. Newborns were a treasure. I don't know how many babies we dedicated at Gospel Mission Church, but they just kept bringing them. And now, on the pictures on the bulletin board as you come in, I put up some pictures that weren't there before, that just a few, not many, that you can look at and you can see that between Maggie and I, we were dedicating some babies. And that's precious. That's a treasure.
Amen.
One of these days, Megan, you might be a grandmother.
I hope so.
And treasure. They come to you and say, well, we're praying. Don't you say, well, get rid of it. You can't afford it. God won't give you something you can't afford.
Amen.
He'll give it to you. Yeah. Now, some mothers and some dads aren't worth to take the power of blown to Hades with.
Amen.
There's an amen corner. And she's in the corner, too. An amen corner. But some are. But and also then, I can't stop there. And the vets were revered. My hat's off to any veteran. And they're the ones that keep me safe. Yes.
Talking about veterans, was it you, Olivia? We walked by one in uniform and I thanked them. And shortly after, Olivia asked me why I thanked that gentleman.
Why do what?
Why I thanked a vet, because he was going through the airport.
Oh.
And I thanked him because we passed each other, and that's all I did, and kept on walking.
And Olivia asked you why you thanked you.
Yep.
Well, see, they don't know yet. They don't know that because, first of all, Brother Barry, you breathe, you get from God. This gal I was talking to yesterday, she's just revered for decades. How do you like those words? Don't ask me how to spell. revered the dead.
Abortion is murder.
Abortion is murder. Anyhow, her bride and her house is paid for, her car is paid for, and it's nice. But yet she won't go to church. Yet she won't think. I don't know if she thanks God or not. But God gives us these things, and then He has given us the military to protect us. Everywhere we went in the last couple of weeks, just think about this. You're sitting in McDonald's, and in comes security with what were they carrying, Hunter?
M16s, M14s.
M16 and 14. And they're coming into the restaurant, and they're looking around. We don't have that in America. We don't have that.
We can go to the Galleria without having our undercarriage of our car searched for bombs.
Yeah, and we just go in a little place, not much, and there they are. There's security going like this, and there's another dude standing out there with them on AKs. Everyone, and that's a free country, Miss Carol. They say they're free. 88% are supposed to be Christians. Just like America, 88% are Christians.
Put your window down and look in your car.
Look in your car, open up the trunk, you open up the back end and look everything over, and you're just going to, what was that we going to? Java House, Coffee House. That's where we're going. And it's search under a car and all that. We don't have to do that in America. You know why we don't have to do that in America? Because we have a president that if you step on me, bang, you're done. And I love that. People think, well, you're crazy, you're a preacher, you're supposed to pray everybody in. No, I'm not supposed to pray everybody in. I'm not supposed to pray anybody in. I got to pray to make sure I'm suited and fit to do this. You got to pray yourself in. You got to ask Jesus to forgive you. Of course, ain't nobody here did anything wrong. So I got to get back to work. Do you ever struggle? Do you ever struggle to keep the commitment you made to God? Some people won't admit it. I'll admit it. I struggle. Sometimes I struggle. Man, I've got an 05, what do they call them? Ford Explorers. So they call them Ford Explorers. Or was a nickname for them, an 05. Ford, that's why. That's why. and well, just yesterday I saw this. Oh man, beautiful, brand new Ford truck. One of them that smelled new inside. A 4-door with an 8-foot bed. What was I lusting after that? Oh, man. I love that. But I don't want the payments.
$75,000.
41,000.
If you get the lowest.
If you get it without the things I like,
Yeah.
it's 41,000. But the point of it being, there's times I see things that I'd really like to have. And one thing I've learned a long time ago, do not try to make a deal with God. Do not try to make a deal with God. As the difference between a commitment and a contract. All too many times, if you do try and you do make a deal with God. Well, if you do this, you do that, you do that. It'll be like you need to get the number of that guy that says, call us today and you won't have to pay. But when you try and make a deal with God, it'll fail every time. Come in. what statements you make. The character in the movie. Just help me swim. I'm going to learn the 10 Commandments and get back closer to the. I'm going to read the 10 Commandments. Like I said, when he finally gets up, you see the end of that movie. It's called the end. And he said, I'll call you God once he gets up on the beach. I'll call you. So, in closing today, somebody read 1 Peter 2, 21 through 25. Danny already read 24, verse 24.
To this you were called because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow his steps. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. He himself bore no sin in his body and on the tree, so that he might die to sin and live for righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. For you were like sheep going astray, but now you have returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls.
Amen. Then go to 1 Peter 3, 9. Do not repay evil with evil, or insult with insult. Or, what? Somebody read the rest of it.
But with blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing.
So this, we were called so that we might inherit the blessing. I'm blessed. How many times have you heard me say that I'm blessed? I had somebody tell me not too long ago, say, you don't have to keep saying that all the time. I know that you're blessed. Why don't I have to keep saying that? Carol, why don't I have to keep saying that all the time? I have to keep saying that all the time. I'm blessed. And sometimes I'm trying to convince myself.
Be honest.
Because I'm trying to stay connected. I'm trying to stay committed. I'm blessed. And when you think about how we are blessed, like this, as we just mentioned, you can go into just a small place like out at Darien Square. Now, what's out at Darien Square up there? What's in there? 2 stories, 3 stories, 5 Jerry's.
Right way.
There's several stores in there, but it's not a big throbbing thing. When you go into a place like that, they're there searching your under car and opening up your back door before you can go up in there to Jerry's. We're blessed. We are a blessed people.
I'm blessed by small things.
You're blessed by small things.
Cardinals singing this morning, diamonds on the grass, thrushes flying through the air. I'm sitting there watching turkey. I have a turkey that's eaten down across the neighbor's yard. Deer that come in the evening. I'm blessed. But people look for big things. You don't need big things. It's small things.
Yeah, well, see, look how God loves you. He's sending food to your backyard for you. Turkey, venison.
No.
Do you have rabbits?
No.
That's a blessing. When you look at where we are living, there's times when I look out and there'll be 3-4 deer right out in the field there in front of us. And where Dennis and Bev live, they'll have deer right out in front of their house. From here to the first bench away, out their front door. And he's got a rifle standing in the corner.
2 of them.
2 of them. Well, it's not time yet. Can't shoot them out of season. unless it's crop damage. Then you get one. But anyhow,
It's crop damage, you can shoot.
if there's crop damage, Dennis, if they're damaging your crop, you shoot any one of them. And that I look at it as God has put food right in front of you. He's blessed. Look how blessed he is. He's able to get up and walk around and drive the truck. A couple weeks ago, we went to Wisconsin, Dennis and I, and he drove over there. And 2 years ago, he had a stroke. Now, how blessed is that?
Amen.
That's a blessed man.
Yes.
Yeah. And besides that, guess what? His truck's paid for. Right? And so we're driving in a paid for truck with a guy 2 years ago had a stroke. And a year ago, I had a sick heart attack. Here we are, we have the word sign. Just think about that. Now, isn't that a blessing, Carol? And that's a blessing. And everybody that's here is blessed.
Amen.
Amen.
There are some things that come in your life that are pretty rough. Amen. And I close with this. Last Tuesday, Elizabeth and I had an appointment with an attorney, and some of the stipulations. She was has to get a physical with the immigration's position. I never knew they existed. So she called, made the appointment. She's 18 now, she can do her business herself. I'm no longer her legal guardian. And so she called, she made an appointment, and then they text her back and say, well, that appointment is going to cost $315. Well, I want to tell you something right now. I stand here to tell you that $315 has already been paid. I have it in my pocket. It was given to me for Elizabeth. Isn't that exciting?
Amen.
God will provide.
Amen.
If he knows the need, and he knows the need, but he needs to hear it from you. Well, then a couple of other things we have to get together. Then we meet on Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock, with the attorney. And of all this time, what we were working on is that get her a certificate of citizenship, so she can get a Social Security. Without a Social Security number in this country, you're dead. You can't get a driver's license. You can't get a permit. You can't get a job unless you get one under the table. You know, the problem with one under the table, you're always looking over your shoulder. You're looking for home, you know. And so this lady told us the first step we want to do. I don't remember what was that she called that. Some type of whatever plan. I don't know. Yeah, but this particular plan that's available, she pulled it up, and the first step would be she gets a work permit, a green card, and a work permit. And when she gets the green card, she can go to Social Security and get a Social Security number, and praise God for that.
Amen.
Now she'll have 4 years, up to 4 years, to apply for citizenship. Now that's a little bit different.
How hard is the test?
Pardon?
How hard is the test?
How hard is it? But there's no, she don't have to push. In other words, she's gonna have a Social Security number, and she's gonna be able to get a job. Can't wait to get a job. And guess what? Once you get a job, for the most part, up until you retire or die, you're working. You gotta make the donuts. Gotta make the donuts. Gotta make the donuts. Gotta go. Gotta go to work. Gotta go to work. Gotta go to work. 3 o'clock in the morning, gotta leave the house, go to work. What time do you leave to go, Carol?
I work such crazy hours.
Crazy hours. Yours are bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Yeah. crazy. Yeah. And look how peaceful she looks. See how peaceful Miss Carol looks. You know why? Oh, she is blessed. She's blessed. And look at Benny. You don't have to go to work. He worked all those years. He and I had a conversation with the United Church. He worked all those years at the same place, punched the time clock, in and out, 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 in and out. How many years?
37 years.
37 years and never missed it.
Never laid on.
Never laid off. 37 years. And I said to him, I said, well, you're really blessed because that would have drove me crazy. But then the life that I've lived would have drove him crazy. Or the wives. A lot of times our wives make well, they make statements. Sometimes the wives make statements. Why don't you get a real job? I remember way back when I was laid off because of construction, we closed down the door. We closed down the construction site until spring, come Christmas, and that was it. And Nancy, I can remember Nancy saying to me, why don't you go get a real job? Like the guys working in a CAT. Well, I went and I applied at a place in York. A real job. And I went in and went home. Second day. Now it was cold there. Snow on the ground. It was winter time. And right before Christmas. And on the fourth day, I about couldn't take any more. I was selfish. I was selfish because of myself. I told I did Johnny Paycheck. Shove it. I ain't working here no more. Egotistical, pompous, nice brat I was. Had one baby, another baby on the way. And I went home. Nancy said, what do you do at home? And I quit. And she cried, and she cried, and she cried for hours. Then I got a job with Mom's cousin, built our meats over in Rock Dam. And I worked 12 hours a day for $20. And I did that till spring. And I hated it. But I did that till spring. And see, then we're waiting for the boat to come by for a job, another job. And that's the way it's been for years. But I reached a point where I enjoyed what I did because I was being blessed. I had the flexibility of ministering, and when I got called to ministry, I was ordained February the 5th, 1978. And so if Danny and Dennis, who worked in those places, if they lived the life I lived, they'd have been crazy. You'd have lost all your hair, Danny. You'd have lost all of it. I remember Danny had an afro. Yeah,
That was a wifey.
a wifey did. Okay, I need to let you guys go.